production of enzyme. So we are going to especially look about only a specific classification, protease enzyme. So before getting into that, we have first know what is enzyme. So enzyme is nothing but a biocatalyst. We know that in any of the chemical reaction, the catalyst plays an important role. So here the catalyst will increase the rate of the reaction. For example, if you are going to mix some of the two components, and if the reaction is yet to happen, it is taking a long period of time, then if you are adding a catalyst, that will reduce the rate of the reaction. So same like if we are going to have, if any of the reaction, biological reaction is yet to happen, this enzyme will be act as a biocatalyst. The role of the catalyst is like it will not exactly react with the reactant, but it will speed up the overall reactions and it will enhance the production of the desired product. So the enzymes can also be classified in many manners, on up to like 7 classifications out there, and these enzymes are mainly proteins. So we know that the protein is nothing but it is composed of the amino acids. So already existing 20 amino acids, either essential or non-essential amino acid is already present. So it will be like a composition of all these amino acids. So why we should go for this enzyme? So we should know that there are many industrial applications over this enzyme, and when we talk about in the leather industries or in the food industries, even in the detergent and textiles, chemical, pharmaceutical industries, and even for the isolation or degradation of the waste materials, or else for the animal feed additives, we are actually using these enzymes. So it have a varieties of vast applications over. That's why we the immobilized enzyme, already I have told you, like in some of the production we will use immobilized enzyme. So the reusing of the enzyme can be very much achieved by if we are going for the immobilized enzymes. So when we talk about these enzymes, we should also know where it can be like. So as I told you, there are varieties of classifications of enzymes there. And based upon its uses in the industries, they will go for the production. So we can look at for next slide. What is actually an enzyme, how it will be work under. You can see like the substrate as well as the enzyme will go and bind and it will form a complex. So once the complex have been formed, then it will convert those substrates into the product and it will release it over. The enzyme will be stay back as such. So there will not be any reaction with the product, but it will just perform or catalyze the overall reaction. Here we are going to look about the classifications of enzymes. So almost 7 classifications are there. One is that hydrolase, isomerase, lyase, oxidoreductase, synthetase, and transferase. So based upon the name itself, we can know that hydrolase is nothing but hydrolysis, that is breaking down of the hydrogen bond. This will be achieved. Some of the examples, lipase and protease. So this protease, hydrolase enzyme, one of the protease industrial production we are going to look forward, and isomerase. So the rearranging of all the atoms within the molecule will be done with the help of an enzyme called phosphohexoisomerase. So lyase. So lyase is nothing but it will cut or it will split the two chemical components. So one of the example is decarboxylase, aldolase. All these enzymes is an example. Next one is the oxidoreductase. So there will be a transfer of electrons and also the hydrogen atom within a molecule. So here either the oxidation reaction or else a reduction reaction will be happen. So one of the example is dehydrogenase and oxidase. And last, the sixth one is synthetase. So synthetase is nothing but the joining of the two new bonds. So it is like an DNA ligase. If the two DNA fragment is there, if you want to join it, then we will use this DNA ligase so that we will get the new elongated species. So in genetically modified organism and all, we would have used this DNA ligase and DNA polymerase. And next last one is the transferase. So transferase is nothing but the movement of the functional group within a molecule is called as transferase. Example is kinase and transaminase. So these are the classification of enzyme, and especially the hydrolase enzyme we are going to look forward the industrial production. Then, in general, we should know what are the activities of enzyme in our body. Like some of the amylase or protease enzyme will be present in our body, especially for the digestion purpose. So whatever the food we are going to eat it over, that will be chewed and broke down in our mouth. So where the amylase will be present, so it will make the food very soft, and it will convert some of the foods into a very soft kind of manner. Then when it reaches the stomach, we know that because of the acids present in it and also the enzymes present or produced in our stomach will convert those carbohydrates or else the protein present in it into a glucose or else an amino acids. So here the protease will break down all the proteins present in the stomach and it will convert it into an amino acid. Then whatever the starch molecules or complex carbohydrates will be broke down and it will be converted into glucose, which is nothing but an energy molecule which will be circulated inside your body. So rather than that protease, we can say like lipase enzyme will also be there in our digestive tract, whereas the fat will be broke down with the help of lipase enzyme and it will be converted into fatty acids and glycerol. So these are the main commonly used enzymes in our. Then we will move on to the protease. So before getting into the production part, either upstream processing or downstream processing, we should know what is the role of protease. So protease is nothing but, already I have shown you that it is nothing but a hydrolase enzyme. So it can able to break down the bonding. So which bond will be broke? From the name you can be classified the protease. The pro defines the protein. So breakdown of the proteins will be occur. So it will completely break down all the protein into an amino acid. So the polypeptide chain or else a peptide chain between two amino acids will be completely broken down with the help of this protease. So it is also called as peptidase or else proteinase. This peptide bond, we know that there will be, while I've taught you that translation process, one amino acid will be get linked to the another amino acid through the CN bond. CN bond is nothing but the peptide bond. This peptide bond will be broken by this protease enzyme. Okay, and what is the main role of this protease? It will be helps for the digestion and also the breaking down of the protein, and it will also act as a signaling molecule. The overall protease can be found in most of the living as well as the in viruses, and some of the plants can also be able to produce this protease enzyme. So same when we talk about all the enzymes, it will be act as a biocatalyst. So exactly it will be like a catalytic mechanism. Only it will catalyze the reaction. It will enhance the rate of the reactions, we can say. These proteases have a very vast applications over in food, pharmaceutical, detergent, leather, tanning industries, and also for the recovery of the silver and peptide synthesis. So almost if the enzyme production in the market have been there, or only 60 remaining 40% of other enzymes have been produced commercially. Almost 60% of our protease will be produced. So you can see that how vastly these protease have been used it for. That's why we are going for the commercialization of this protease. And we know that by fermentation technology we are going for the production of this enzyme, and the organism and also its nature of it, how long it can be cultivated in the reactor, all these things plays an important role, and that's why we are going for this commercialization. So we know that the protease, you can see here in this diagram, the protease can able to cleave the peptide bond bond between the amino acids. So here all the colors represents the different amino acids have been linked together to form a protein. This will be got broke, and then the amino acids will be set free. So this is what exactly happen in the digestion of and food, or is a protein in our body. Then we can classify these protease enzyme into two types. One is that exopeptidase, another one is that endopeptidase. So from the name itself we can know the exo means it's not inside, and it you know that the protein will be like it's like a primary protein, secondary protein, tertiary protein, and quaternary protein structures are there. So based upon the functions and characteristics and types of the protein, the structure will also vary. So if it is only in a linear form, then we will cut only the outer side of it. So it will be stitched together and it will form a loop like structure. So if it is happening, the cleavage is happening only at the ends of the carboxyl ends, then it is called as exo. If the cleave is almost inside your protein structure, then it is called as endopeptidase. So based upon the cleavage, we can able to classify exo and endopeptidase. Then it is also further classified some of the proteins. One is that endoprotease can be classified based upon the catalytic center as well as the pH. So here the catalytic center is nothing but the active site. So I already told you that these enzymes will go and bind to the substrate. So the catalytic site is that exactly where this substrate will go and bind. It should be very specific, as I already shown you the diagram over there in the first slide. So this enzyme will have only a specific nature. It will specifically bind to that particular substrate. So the structure of the substrate will also plays an important role in the active site. So based upon that catalytic site, we can classify the proteins, and also based upon the pH we can classify. Based upon catalytic center, serine protease have been there, cysteine protease is there, aspartic protease, and metalloprotease. So these are the functional groups based upon the functional groups present in that, and particularly in the active site, which functional group is being attached. Based upon that, we have been classified. Then the pH, the acidic nature of the protein, it is called as acidic protease, the neutral protease, and alkaline protease. So based upon the pH range, we can also classify these proteins. Then we will move on to the exoprotease. Then exoprotease, there are two different types. One is that aminopeptidase, another one is that carboxypeptidase. The aminopeptidase is further classified into class 1 and class 2 aminopeptidase. The carboxylpeptidase will be based upon the functional groups serine, cysteine, and metallocarboxypeptidase. So these are the classification of the proteins. Because of the specific nature as well as the function of the protease, we can say like these have been classified already. We have know about the classification. So aspartic, metallo, serine protease, threonine protease, and cysteine proteins will have a specific function over. When we talk about all these functions, very vast function, and we will be very specifically produce either a metalloprotease or else a serine protease, or else at the end of the reaction we will be specifically modifying all the active sites of that protease. So what is the functions? Like a growth factor receptor, it will contain a growth factor receptor, or bioactive peptide, or else inflammatory cytokinin, or else regulating of the ion channels will also happen, and activation of the G coupled receptors will be there. Then member will be treated by using an agonist release, which is nothing but the physiological functions or behavior and processing of the extracellular matrix and integrins. So all these functions will be very specific for that particular metallo, or as a cysteine, serine, or threonine, or aspartic acid proteases.